The FDA has approved the first vaccine for pregnant women to protect newborns against RSV. That's a virus that is especially dangerous for infants. Each year, in fact, more than 1 million young children get RSV. 80,000 go to the hospital because of it, and up to 300 a year die as a result. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder is editor-at-large for KFF, and she joins me now. Dr. Gounder, thank you very much for being here. So the vaccines, how do they work?
This is really cool biology. This is how pregnant women protect their babies against infection. So the idea here is you're vaccinating a woman late in pregnancy in the 3rd trimester. She makes her own natural antibodies, and she passes on those antibodies to the baby through the placenta, through the breast milk. And that's, in fact, how pregnant moms go on to protect their infants against a whole host of different infections while the baby's immune system is still immature.
A lot of women, particularly a 3rd trimester vaccine, they're hesitant to get vaccines while pregnant. What would you say to those concerns?
Well, part of the reason these are being given so late in pregnancy, 32 to 36 weeks of pregnancy, so the 3rd trimester, is really to minimize any risk to the baby. By that point, your internal organs are already developed. You're not going to be inducing premature labor or anything like that. So the idea is to vaccinate early enough that you provide the protection of the baby, but late enough that there aren't significant risks associated.
But now there's also an RSV treatment that was just approved for young children, right? Separate from this vaccine for pregnant women. I can imagine a person saying, I'll skip the vaccine for me during pregnancy and instead treat the child later. How do you feel about that trade-off?
Well, it's not a treatment exactly. It's a monoclonal antibody. You remember those from COVID?
Yes.
So here what you're doing is you're making synthetically antibodies in the lab, and you're giving those to the infant in their first couple months of life to protect them for the season. So one is natural antibodies from the mom. The other one is synthetic antibodies made in the lab. Otherwise, they are, in most respects, quite similar.
Okay, and so highest risk, lowest risk for RSV when people are thinking about this virus?
Infants are very high risk for RSV. They have less mature immune systems. They have smaller airways, so they get into trouble more quickly if there's inflammation or mucus in the airways.
Yeah.
And then the elderly, so people over 60 in particular. And there is an RSV vaccine that's also available to them right now.
Yeah. Infants breathe like French bulldogs. Like they're little,
That's exactly
they're
right.
snoring all the time. Dr. Gounder, thank you very much.